All right, welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. You're watching TV47 Breakfast and you can catch us live on our app, Vibe 47, which is available on App Store and of course Play Store. We are also live on Facebook and YouTube at TV47 Kenya, on X at TV47 Digital. You can tag me at Annie_Dida because we are having a continuation of a conversation that we started last week. That is a conversation on childhood traumas. This is something that might be relevant to you or to all of us because some of us have actually lived through this. So today on Relationship Wednesday, that is the conversation that you're going back to, and we are asking a lot of questions this morning. Just how much of the way we love, communicate, trust, and of course even fight today is shaped by what happened to us as children. We have the same guest in studio. Our youngsters are not here yet, but we're hoping that they will be here. However, Zim is here in studio. That is Richard Ziwa, Zimbalist, to drive this conversation on childhood trauma. So, of course, we do welcome you once again to be part of this conversation on WhatsApp as well, 0793267279, and you can call in live. There will be a number on your screen very shortly. Good morning, Zim.
Good morning, Adela.
You're well?
Yes, I am.
You know, before we started the show, I was reminding you of a certain song, and it's still in my mind. It's still because you didn't sing the chorus that I was asking you to sing. You know, Zim paka Zim paka Zim. Zim. That song is stuck in my mind, but okay. I thank the lady who came here and gave us that nickname.
Yeah.
I think her name was Phil.
She cracked into my private world to
right.
my short name.
Wonderful. Thank you for braving the rains. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. It's a bit drizzly, cold, foggy. Yeah. But the day will not be foggy. We will see more clearly through it all.
Yes. Yeah. So we are, continuing this conversation on childhood trauma, and I'm hoping Cindy and Eddie will be here in time so that, we can pick up from there because there's a lot that we never touched on, last week. Yeah. But I'd love for us to start from the point of what you wish people actually understood about the connection between, childhood and adulthood. How does that translate into, our older days?
Thank you. And one of the things that would be critical for everyone to appreciate is that the things you do not predispose for help, you don't come out candidly to talk from a place of authenticity. That happened to you in your childhood traumas, because those are deeply seated emotional experiences. Somewhere could have been also physical, because if you went through a traumatizing experience during a war-torn area from Sudan, from the back home in Uganda when we were growing up, when you talk of a war, some people don't know what you're talking about because they've never experienced a civil war.
Have you?
I lived through them from 1977 all the way through. The military regimes that came successively, you lived through them because we lived next to the barracks. So we knew what happened. So when you say, this will turn on a civil war, we know what we went through as little kids. The traumas never leave you. You walk through dead bodies. You see military camps everywhere. You see a lot of things. So if you don't come up from a place of authenticity, talk about your own insecurities and the hurts and the wounds and the pains, people will not know why you're striking out in certain incidences. If you've come from a place of sexual abuse and this happened privately, not everyone was there to witness it, to experience it, but you were there. And often people want you to keep silent about it. Then they see you walk in a place of perpetual fear. Every time you come in encounters with a masculine gender or a feminine gender that abused you, because sometimes people think women do not get to abuse young people, but actually young boys, but it happens on both quadrants. If you've gone through some physical abuse, someone brutally abused you as a child, it's quite likely that you might rehearse the same kind of abuse when you have your own opportunity to raise your own children, or you freak out when you see it.
Right? Inflicting, that kind of abuse that you went through.
Yes, because the pain that is deeply seated in your emotional psyche. Behind the scene, you strike out on people. You can put on an imagery in front of people, but you're a different person privately. And most of the time, those are traumas you never dealt with adequately. It could have been a relationship that went south. Started out all well, and to many people who are not involved in day-to-day experience of your relationship, they see a perfect individual, always glamorous, laughing, the makeup is right, and you know, every I dotted and every T crossed, but behind the scene, it's a totally different world altogether, because there are childhood traumas you never healed from, the abuse of the parents, going through an abusive relationship. So you attempt to get into a relationship, then you find yourself, why am I rehearsing this toxicity in my relationship? There are things you suffered in your growing up and never dealt with. So I always say, it has a way it shows up when you least expect it. So the best would be seek a licensed therapist for counseling and be helped. And some of these things, if they happen in community, you can only be healed in community. In other words, engage yourself into conversation around people who know you, who care for you, so that you can be healed. So if I know one thing that works too fast, even without necessarily a therapist, is that break out into conversation in safe spaces with people who know you and care for you, and you'll be healed.
Talking about it.
Yeah, talk about it.
All right. You know, you mentioned something about abuse, and sometimes, you know, we see people downplaying and dismissing people who talk about abuse, especially, you know, when you talked about sexual abuse, even physical abuse, and this is for on the male gender side. You know, when you tell me, Zim, that, you know, your wife beat you, yesterday,
it's laughable, but it could happen.
It could happen.
Yeah.
So why really do we have people who, you know, downplay and dismiss people who, you know, speak about abuse? And if we have this culture and you're encouraging speaking up, especially for people who have these traumas, then what are we saying really about the ability to speak up and to get help? Truth
be told, there's a mental cycle that we experience in the daily routines of our lives. It's normal for a woman to admit and break out in conversation and talk about how she's been going through an abusive relationship, and people will give her a listening ear. It's another numbing experience when a man is going through the same experience and no one would listen in on him. They say, I watch your jokes. Stop joking.
You're a weak man.
How do you tell me that a woman can beat you? Because naturally they would think it should be the reverse. But you see, there might not necessarily be some physical abuse for a woman battering a man. If you see it, it's negligible, though it does exist. But the greatest part, or the one that is more subtle, is the emotional abuse. A man can be given a barrage of words.
The verbal abuse.
Oh, and he cannot catch up.
And
the guy is reduced to rubble. Or you might find that the guy is a champion out there, but in his own house, the guy is scared to even break into conversation with his own kids because of what happens in the house. So even in such circumstances, I would encourage a man. It might not be every other man you talk to, but there's some man who've got your back to talk to. It might not necessarily be your mother, because if you take it to your mother, that is another totally different war.
Did I teach you that?
Oh, yes. You treat her fair and square. But the reality is, I have witnessed that there are some women who will jump on an occasion to abuse and reduce their man to a place of where they debase them. Eat at their ego, their self-esteem with the words they say. And not only do they say it to them, they say it in the hearing of those who they care for. That even the children they might not have great reverence and respect for their parent, that is the man or the father or the husband to their mother. And it is important for such a man also to break out in conversation and talk about it. Find some men, find some group of accountable men you talk to. Yeah. I lead a group of amazing men in part of my sphere of influence. And we talk about things, we talk about issues, but also it's clear over time you take note, not everyone is comfortable to talk about everything. Yeah. There are some things they think, I think this one
it's too much information.
It's too much information. But if you find yourself in that experience, there could be another person you could talk to. Don't keep bottle it in, because when you do, you strike out when you least expect it on the wrong person. You've heard of crimes of passion? Yeah. They come from a place of woundedness and hurt and pain and traumas that have never been addressed. You've never exposed that hurt and that pain, that wound to someone. I like the metaphor where they say that a doctor can only heal what you predispose to them. Yeah. If there's a particular place of hurt and pain and woundedness and ill health, but you do not predispose it to the doctor and say, I'm hurting this, because the doctor can only respond, how are you feeling? Yeah. How have you been lately? If you do not reveal that information, he will not prescribe the right diagnosis and treatment and cure for that particular area of heart. The same is true in relationship. If a man keeps on silent, which is certainly true, what women do by talking about it, for us we do by keeping silent about it. Yeah. We keep a mute experience about certain things. Like, this one, to my grave. But you notice the man is hurting, is in pain, and is not talking about it. So it's time for men also to break out in conversation and talk and express some of these things. And if talking is too hard, find a pen and a paper, begin to write some things down. Yeah. Sometimes when you write, you're doing an internal audit of yourself. And some of the things you put down square is as good as talking. The beauty about writing down, pen and paper never lose memory. Somehow, somewhere, you refer to some of the things you've been able to write. Right. Then you find, how can I course correct this? Maybe, could be reading a book would help you to find out how to deal with emotional woundedness in the life of a man. Yeah. Yeah.
You've talked about a lot of things, and I want us to unpack. You know, we mentioned verbal abuse. That sometimes women react to that. You know, when they're talking to their men, rather. I'd love to know, for men who are used to this and who grew up, hearing, some sort of verbal abuse from especially their parents, their moms, kivunja glass, vunja zote. We were talking about this last week. You break a glass, you're told, break all of them. You do something, you're told, talk up, or you're even afraid to go home. So what does that do to a man who has grown up, be getting used to verbal abuse from the home, and then they get into marriage, then the same cycle continues? What does that do to them?
It negatively scripts you to have an aptitude where you respond negatively about certain things and normalize abuse. There's a way men have a tendency to live on passively in certain life experiences and journeys. Yeah. So the best would be to jack yourself out of it and say, there's nothing normal about that kind of talk. Yeah. That is wrong. That is toxic. Break out of that pattern and find someone you talk to and say, I grew up in this kind of environment. And it's never too late to write a new script. And therapy and counseling would be very helpful. For one who is married, I would recommend find an accountable group of married people where you go to every month. It's more like therapy. You sit around, hey, how have you been? Yeah. They bring you to a place of audit. How's your life? How is she treating you? It might not sound as fancy as it might be, but believe me, when you sit in a group of couples who meet every month, like we do, or like we have done, and someone asks you, how is she treating you? You'll be amazed how you laugh about certain things and how it heals you. Let me give you a case in point. It was a hilarious experience with my wife in our last couples meeting. It's one of those experiences. We had sat at home with my kids and her in the couch, and I came and I sat next to her. There's this particular orange t-shirt that I like. From inside, it is faded. From outside, it's a bright orange t-shirt. I like it. So when I'm home, I relax into it. And it's been a while since I last wore it. But truth be told, at the back of it, it's torn. But it's torn just slightly.
Trauma, that is the one you love.
For her, when she looks at it, why do you like this t-shirt? So I made a mistake when I came from the bathroom and went to my wardrobe. I picked it without noting which side it is. So I wore it on the other inside out. So the inside out, which is all faded, is what she saw. She said, now I got my chance. Remove that t-shirt. So the kids were just there laughing. I said, you got to remove this t-shirt. Now, I told you I'm a minimal hoarder. I love hoarding certain things. I hold on to them a little longer than they should be. So she grabbed it and she picked it and she took it.
I thought she was going to turn it into a mop. Let's welcome Cindy to the conversation.
So the kids were laughing and enjoying the experience.
Just walk in, Cindy.
So as we are laughing about it, I had to tell my couples, I say, hey, we had a scene at home. You need to see my t-shirt. So she brought out the t-shirt and they all burst out laughing. And I say, all these men do. There's that ugly pant that they love to wear, that ugly t-shirt they love to wear. So the reality is, talk about it in the couples fellowship. If you're married, don't keep quiet about certain things. Hilarious as it were, it was a good case in point for someone to learn something. There are some things that could happen, maybe it could rub you the wrong way. But there are also some things that men need to deal with.
All right. Cindy, good morning. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Uski baridi. Let's just start there. What's happening?
It's raining. It's freezing. There's traffic on the road. I don't have a car. I am single.
Let's repeat it. Who uses the matatu?
The poor people. I am the poor today. So it's hectic. I think I can stamp officially that I hate mornings. If I wasn't sure last week or the other week, now I can confirm today I hate mornings.
But we're happy that you're here.
Well, thank you.
Tell them you love the conversation on Relationship Wednesday. That's why you make time.
That's why, actually, it's because I love this show so much.
We love it.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have, sacrificed.
Right? You
but
know,
I'm glad to be here.
She has said something quite important, Zim. I don't know if you caught that. And she's single.
She's single.
That is why we have the show.
I was going to dwell on it. She's single. Please, if you're viewing, seize the moment.
And if you have a car,
donate
it to me.
Right. We are continuing that conversation in childhood trauma. And I know this is something that, of course, Cindy, I don't know if it's personal to you. We touched on a lot of things last time, but I remember we stopped on a point where we're talking about telling our partners about the traumas that, we faced while growing up. Do you think it's necessary for us to have that kind of conversation with our partners?
Well, as I had mentioned last week, it's still a continuation of what I thought. Although there's been a tweak to it today. When
you went and thought about it more.
I thought about it. And I was thinking, if I tell you something today, right? And the thought that came to me this week was, is it going to help you 10 years from now? Right? If I tell you something about my traumas in the past, definitely you're going to be dealing with me from the time that you get married, carried forward, and into the future. But now, is it something that's going to impact you 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Can you help me with that trauma, or can it help you to better treat me? Or I don't know if it makes sense, but like 10 years from now, if I tell you something, is it something that's going to be impactful to both of us? Or is it something that's gonna phase off after like a month, and then you go back to treating me in the same manner that the traumatic experience has already affected me, you know. So for me, I still stand by those words. If you're going to tell someone, talk to someone who's emotionally intelligent and mature, who's not going to use your words against you at any point in an argument. Ndio maana mamako alikuchapa na wig yake chafu. You know those funny comments. Those funny comments that you tell someone in confidence and then they turn and use them against you so badly, and you're left wondering, I'm so broken, who do I go to? And the person that you thought you confided in rather is already tearing you to pieces.
Right.
So emotionally intelligent, and 10 years from now, is this going to impact me positively or negatively if I tell this person?
Zim, you know what they don't know, they can't use against you. That is my thinking. And I still don't understand the need, you know, to tell your partner the traumas that you grew up with. Because isn't that some sort of manipulative tactic, such that you want them to treat you a certain way? Because now they won't be themselves, because if they tell you something, you're going to, you know, get mad about it, you're going to be aggressive and all. Trauma bonding, manipulation, and why the need to tell your partner?
I think you should not feel coerced to tell. But the premise on a healthy relationship is always hinged on trust and conversation, talk. But if you look closely to people who you've been affiliated with on a norm, is that hurting people hurt people.
Yes.
So if there's a certain measure of hurt and woundedness that is originating from the trauma you went through growing up, the most trusted person to go to is a licensed therapist. Your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband is not a therapist. So
you're dumping your trauma on them.
Yes, you'll be looking for help in the wrong place. So I think if something significantly left you in a place where you really lost your sense of worthiness, a sense of clarity of who you really are, look out for professional help from a licensed therapist and counselor, and you'll be helped. But if you're going to break into conversation to your spouse about it, it must be from a place of authenticity and honesty and care that you know, and you will know that is not going to use it against me. There are certain things I've revealed about my past to my spouse, and I've never revealed to anyone. Yet there are some things I've never told because it's not worth make mention of. Because in the ecosystem where we are, you only reveal as much as what you're willing to leverage on in the day-to-day living. If it's not going to be helpful, why reveal it?
Tell them what you can repeat, you know, in public again.
Yes, if I'm going to say it, that means if I'm asked again, I have to say it the same way I repeated it to you. But if it's not going to be helpful, it's not worth mentioning. But if you think you need to reveal certain portions of your life, past, present, and future, go look for a professional licensed therapist to help you through it.
Cindy, you know, sometimes they say that you can't shame me for something I've told you about. And I'm still on that issue of partners, because Eddie brought this up. Lakini sijawahi elewa why he brought it up, because I'm in his case now. That, you know, the moment I tell my partner about it, should I be telling them after I'm healed, such that when it's used against me, then, you know, I feel nothing totally about it? Because, you know, you cannot shame me with something that I told you. What do you think, really? Should we have this conversation after I am healed? Or, well, we're just starting off in this relationship and I'm trying to heal that inner child?
You see, first of all, I think I'll do it in two phases. First off, are you talking to someone in terms of like trying to seek help, or are you trauma bonding, right?
Yes. Let's define trauma bonding. Let's start there.
Right. So trauma bonding is when you have an issue that maybe happened to you a while back. Someone else has an issue that happened to them a while back. In the midst of sharing these things, you find that you have so much in common, and then you get closer by virtue of you having gone through the same issues in the past. Maybe recent past or long past, I don't know. but
Bora past.
Exactly. Bora ni past. So in this sharing these stories, issues, nini, you end up kumbe. So my mom was not an evil witch.
Yeah.
It's everyone's moms.
Yeah.
And personally I don't encourage trauma bonding because it makes you lounge and revel and just enjoy a certain kind of setting without actually seeking the help that you desire, right? So you're here talking to me and you're like, oh my God, Aki alikuanga anatufungia kwa kabati.
Yeah.
And and I'm like,
me too.
Me too. Oh my God. So like, twinsies. No, you're not twinsies.
Yeah.
You're just in a situation where you happen to have gone through the same thing. Both of you should seek help because it could, you could start behaving around people who are normal in the same manner and hoping that they also adopt the same thinking process, which is wrong. Now, I had two sides of the coin.
Yeah.
So are you trauma bonding with this individual, or are you hoping that in you sharing these stories, whatever happened to you in the past, they will treat you differently? Yeah, because maybe you're woke and you know that, hey, whatever I went through was not normal.
Yeah.
And now I want us to get to a better level. Now you're telling him, hey, so and so, I love you so much. I would like us to have a, even saying I love you so much sounds so weird on my tongue.
Find love, Cindy, find love so that you can get used to it.
I love you so much and I'm hoping for us to have a very stable future. This is what I went through. And this is what triggers me, this is what doesn't. How can we, because at the end of the day, you may go to a therapist. You may seek the help that you want. But if your partner that you claim to love so much doesn't subscribe to a certain way to have you treated, that therapy becomes pointless. Because now the therapist is telling you, you need to do this, you need to do that. Your partner has to do this, you have to do this to your partner. It's a two-way traffic. If he doesn't understand, and there's normally even couples therapy, right? And maybe you go there and both of you, and it's just like, no, I can't do this.
Yeah.
So then what's the point of that? You see, you lose track. So number one, as I said, are you trauma bonding? If you are trauma bonding, please find professional help. And probably even leave that person because it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Especially if both of you are just comfortable in that position and you're not willing to seek help and you're just transferring you're bleeding on others. That's what they call it. You're hurting, so you're bleeding on others. Now, if you want to seek help you want to talk to your partner in the sense that now I want him to treat me better. I want her to treat me better. I want her to understand what I went through. I want her to, or him, I want him or her to understand that this is what I went through and it wasn't right and I would like for them to embrace this other side of the coin. Then yes, personally I think it's okay. Right. Yeah.
Cindy, why are you feeling some type of way when you say the word I love you? Are you walking around with a plethora of childhood traumas? What's happening? Have you done some sort of introspection? Because I'm like,
well,
there's a trauma.
You see Nairobi?
Yeah. You want to blame it on Nairobi, Cindy?
I want to explain.
Yeah.
Nairobi has given me its fair share of relationships and the traumas. People carry traumas even from relationships. Yeah. So you tell someone I love you and then they go and they just say weird things about them and now you're like, it's so distasteful. Yeah. And you're just like, it's fine. Even this relationship thing, it's not a must. Yeah, so it's just weird.
It's weird for you.
Very.
Zim, that's some sort of trauma response, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
See, to every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So if you come with a commitment to love and to be genuinely cared for, and you have the same commitment towards the person you or the object of your affection, and it's not reciprocated, quite likely it will not come out as a good test. You feel rejected, you feel anxious every time you come around the same subject of engaging into relationship with someone.
Yeah.
So it leaves some fetters of pain and like, I don't want it. So when another potential opportunity comes around, you have a way of reflecting back to what you went through. Like, So in others, that trauma of that past relationship didn't go right. I've seen in my own experience where people went to a relationship and the guy slapped her you're not married. You're just dating.
Yeah.
Because you came late for a date. That is she your child?
Is that a true story?
Those are true stories.
Okay.
Is this your child? Okay. You hear of stories that you came to catch a ride with a guy, and after you've had a date and you didn't necessarily agree on certain things along the way, is asking for other things extra which are not complimentary of the date.
Yeah.
And he tells you, come out of the car. Like, you tell me to come out of a car here.
Yeah.
Where do I drop off from?
Yeah.
In the middle of the road? No. So he parks the car and runs at the other side to drag you out of the car. So if you hear of anyone giving you a ride in their car, relationship, wachana na mimi.
Yeah.
There are many things that come as people get to know each other, but the beauty about dating and courting as young people, you're not married. You're exploring the potential of knowing this individual, and don't pin it on only one. Be predisposed to a number of them so that you can know what is best matched and suited for you. And prayer would help you to get to the right person. Sometimes you use your head and it comes to a finite mind, and you're like, I've done all I could in the nature and it's not working out. What else can I do? Add in some bit of prayer to
pray about it.
Oh yes, it works in your vantage point. I'm giving you a clue.
Try every option.
Some of these things, the traumas that you suffer, a therapist can go so far to navigate this journey with you. But there's another help. God can help you to heal.
And you can also live.
And you can live.
Living is healing, right?
Yeah.
That's what we are saying. And living is healing.
And also to know there's nothing wrong to being single.
Exactly.
You Cindy find love.
Cindy should find love. She's running away from it.
Yes.
You should be in a place where you know that being healthy and complete, lacking nothing, as in your singlehood, is as good as being married to a man or a woman who loves and cares for you. You'll be amazed how you miss that singlehood if you rush into a relationship that is not designed for you. You will say, I wish I stayed a little single to add value to myself and find out some of the things I'm so passionate about in my personal growth and pursue them. And when I get to that place where I feel I need to invite someone to my space, it's a match than to run into it and you suffer some of these things that people go through and they're like, oh no, it's not worth it. Yeah.
Cindy, is it possible to not have childhood trauma? Do you think that people who are just living life without any sort of traumas, you know, from their childhood?
It is possible. For, you know, there's parents who understand the essence of mental health.
Planned kids.
Exactly. So Nepo babies.
Yeah.
Okay, Nepo babies may have daddy issues or mommy issues, which are, again, another form of childhood traumas.
Yeah.
So it is possible for parents to understand what mental health is and its essence, especially for a child in their formative years. So they will handle this kid with love. They will give their kid attention. They will provide fully for this kid. This kid will never know what lack is. And sometimes a kid may not know what lack is, but there's the love and affection missing. Or they may have, they may never know what lack is, but there's no attention.
Yeah.
You love them, of course, and you want to be there with them, but maybe you're working. You're always on the road, you're always in the air, you're always outside. So it's possible, but it takes intentionality. Like the deepest parts of your heart have to be very, very intentional with your children for them to avoid that space. Because again, traumas, sometimes you're there with your kid, but the way you speak to them gives them trauma.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're there with them and the way you just handle them. Hata tu vile unamwangalia, you see the way they used to tell us, mkiwa in a function and your mom just throws a glance at it. And you know the next thing that's coming is war.
Yes.
So even the way you handle your kids, the kind of activities you have them indulge in. Another thing I really don't like is when your mom or dad has visitors and then the kids have to be compromised to accommodate these visitors. I hate that. That will never be implemented in my house in case I ever have that house with those kids. But I don't like, sometimes you just have to consider this is a kid. They don't know what's best for them. They're trying to understand. So whatever you lay as foundation for them in those formative years, because I keep saying formative years because you don't know how critical it is for a kid. Because whatever they pick in those early stages is what carries them on and on and on into adulthood. Whatever they gauge as normal here is what they'll do in their families. So if they gauge that war is normal, that's what we're going with. Chaos morning and evening, it doesn't matter what time. Okay, I was listening to this podcast in the course of this week, and it happened to touch on gender-based violence and mental health. As you know, I work with gender-based violence and parenting NGOs. So this lady was saying, for her, I was very proud of her, and the reason I listened for those 2 hours, I never commit that much, time to just listening to a podcast. But the reason I listened is because she left. I was like, clock it, girl. You don't have to be there and suffer and be there like, oh my God, the kids. No, you're teaching them the wrong things. So she was saying, she imagined a life where the husband, who was a preacher, preacher. The husband who is a preacher, the society already is a moral compass in the society. People look up to him. People are like, this is our north. This is, akisema go this way, you go. Akisema go left, you go. So this is someone who abuses her physically, anampiga, and then when they go to church in the morning, she has bruises, and the mchungaji anamwambia, that is my mama watoto. Unaamka usalimie watu with the bruises and the hurt, and people are like,
there's something here.
Yeah, so she was like, her reason for leaving was, I'm forming a very bad foundation for these kids. They will understand that chaos is normal. They will understand that when a man beats you, you stay. They will understand that a man who's not a provider is still a man, which is not true. Let's be honest. Men who can't provide are not men. Okay, I don't know what they are. But men who can't provide, and you still go to the extent of beating someone, you still go to the extent of abusing them financially, because he even told her to leave her job. Yeah. So in that scenario itself, I was just like, hey, kwa kinandoa, it's hard. It's hard, especially if you marry the wrong person.
Right. But the thing we're talking about leaving, and so that we can just clarify on that. But when should somebody take the cue to leave that particular relationship now? Even just basing on the story that Cindy has given us this morning. Because sometimes you're encouraging, speaking up, seeking counseling, and working on this relationship to try and bring back the honeymoon phase. But really, when should I sit down and say that, no, I'm going to leave now? This is not working for me. Even as you respond to that, let's just welcome Eddie to the set. Eddie, karibu sana.
One of the things that is critical to know that abuse is intolerable in any relationship, whatever form or shape it is. Whether physical, verbal, financial, sexual, any kind of abuse, as long as it comes to it at the self-esteem and the core of the person that you're married to, is not supposed to be tolerated. And upon witnessing it, you should seek immediate help. Now, when it comes to a place where you're constantly beaten, battered, bruised, please run for dear life. Police is there to help you. Go report the case to the police. Tell the people who love you, your father, your mother, this man or this woman is something else. If you belong to a local church, hey, tell the wife or the pastor, if you're a lady. If you're a man, talk to a man, talk to the pastor about it. Talk to your accountable groups, because at least there are structures within the church. There are care groups, there are small care groups, there are home cell groups, there are marriage groups, there are singles groups. Talk, be able to break into conversation about it. But when it comes to a place where it hurts you physically, you don't need a democratic decision about it. Walk out, protect and preserve yourself first. Because what will it do for you? What good is it when you have a panga in your head and you're running to your pastor, I don't know whether to the police station, and he's been doing it for so long and been quiet about it? Run as long as it harms you and brings hurt to you physically, to seek help. And the most natural way to seek help, the authorities in place to help you about that, the police. If it is not the police, run to your local church. If it's not your local church, run to your parents if they be close, so that you can seek help. You can solve these other issues when you're safe and secure. One, you can go through therapy and counseling when you're not living with the person. Because this one, when it touched you with a punch, your teeth are out, your eyes gouged out.
No. Can't believe what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I have a question. Sorry for cutting you short. You say when you're battered, when you're injured physically, you should run for dear life. Me, I love money. Let me just put it out there.
Yes.
And
you're in the right place.
Let me just ask something.
So you endure the beating.
No.
Why are you enjoying the money?
Let me just ask something. Nowadays, a man will tell you, I'll provide for everything. You don't have to work. Mind you, this is I'm someone who has gone to high school for 4 years. I've suffered high school for 4 years. I've suffered university. I'm still chasing my missing marks in the university so that I can graduate. And then I go to KSL to become an advocate. And then you're telling me,
leave your job.
Just leave your job. You don't have to do it. This is someone who, maybe he can't provide. And nowadays they package it so nicely. Like, when you're a baby girl, just stay at home, and you're like, oh, my man loves me, I should just stay and just wait for him to. But you thrive on working, you thrive on having your own money, and as a lady, at the end of the day, you should have something to your name. When should I now say this is financial manipulation? I'm a financial, something is off. Is that reason enough to leave someone?
Premarital counseling will help you.
They should seek premarital counseling.
I like she's now picked up the interest to get married, fall in love, and the word love will sound good
working
in her mouth. The reality is, when you go through premarital counseling, that is one of the red flags, which I highlighted. Of course, when you talk about money and making money and multiplying money in your favor as a spouse, both independent and yet together, you get to learn a couple of things that should be addressed from the onset. Even before you engage into the relationship, you should know that your parents took you to school, add value to you, give you a decent education, so that you may contribute not only for yourself, but also for the society. Before you even form your own family, your own unique family, with your own children, with your spouse, you belong to a family who are potentially benchmarking and say, well, when you've grown old, possibly, like in the African culture it is, they benchmark on you to support them in one or the other. So if a man is going to restrain you to go to work, to contribute for yourself first, before you contribute for each other, that should be a huge red flag. A huge red flag. Why would you go to school for all that length of time? Then you have a decent job, then tells you, you don't have to work. And you don't have a child. You're not doing anything. You're seated in the house. You have not yet raised babies. Even if you do have babies, there's a period to which even your employer gives you 6 months of leave to raise
3 months.
No, 6 months is good.
It should be 6.
And in fact,
but it's currently
it's been raised to a whole year.
Let's bring in Eddie to this conversation. Eddie, najua ni mvua. How are you?
I'm fine.
We are, continuing that conversation that you were having last week.
Yes.
And I want you to start from that point of living. We were talking about sometimes living is healing. But we have these people who also stay, and we also talked about while you were away, that there are men who also live through abuse, from their partners, whether it's physical, whether it's verbal, whether it's emotional. Men stay. But I'd love to understand why, people stay in places where literally they're feeling abused. Is it some sort of trauma response or familiarity of, what they grew up knowing? So this is what they know and this is what they love. Why do people stay really?
Previously, I've had several mothers. Just like when I arrived, I heard Cindy saying that I'm just staying because of my children.
I was saying what people say. Me, I would never.
Yes.
You would never.
I would never.
So previously I've had several mothers say that I'm just staying here so that my kids can grow.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here. And it's quite unfortunate that our parents have to go through that, trying to raise us in a complete family. Some men stay because they feel like the person they have, as much as they are that toxic, they still need them. Maybe how the community views them when the lady leaves. He'll be called some names.
Yeah.
He'll be looked at differently. If he used to be a role model, the people he used to serve as role models might leave him. Now, some of us really value our image in the society.
That's why they end up beating their partners.
In that...
Sindio, Eddie?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you just have to stay sometimes. But the most popular one that I've had is that let me just try to fix this marriage. And some people also stay because they feel like they give people more chances. Yes. So let me just stay. He might change.
I can change him.
Yes, I can change.
You talked about people just say stay sometimes, like you're encouraging staying to protect your image. Are you encouraging staying when, to say, somebody is really dumping their traumas on you, they're beating you left, right, and center? And when you're talking about verbal abuse, we were saying that there are people who've grown up hearing their moms really just throw words around. Hata kichwa yako ni kubwa kama baba yako, words like that, vunja yote kama umevunja. But now you also get into a relationship and this is the pattern that you're seeing repeating itself. Why are you supporting staying if this is something that you've grown up with and in, and you know that it's quite unhealthy?
I always believe that we human beings can at one point understand each other. And every solution, every problem we always have can at times be solved by understanding each other. You don't like me doing this. Why can't you just tell me humbly that whatever you're doing is bad? Find a way of changing it. If it's becoming a tendency, now maybe these tendencies are what now brings chaos. But I always believe that we can understand each other and work things through. Yes.
Zim, when Cindy was talking about this issue of marriage and kids, that I'm just staying for the kids, and I'm thinking, is this why a lot of women in this generation don't want kids? Because of the way they were raised in that verbally abusive space, emotionally abusive space. So literally they're just afraid of transferring what they experience to their kids. Is this why we're seeing a decrease in the rate at which women want to be moms?
Yeah, that could be partly true.
Yeah, so that's trauma as well.
It's trauma because children learn by example and demonstration. And if that's what they've been seeing at home, there's a way it imprints on their subconscious memory. Even though they would have a heightened sense of the need to be loved and cared for and raise a family, but what they have as the predictive imagery of what marriage would be like is what they saw. They tend to shy away from it. And you can't underscore the need for one to seek help before they get into a relationship because of what they have been able to see at home. If you saw your dad come home always drunk, smoking, and
violent,
comes home and kicks the dog, kicks the cat, breaks the door, and wakes you up, does not want anyone to sleep, then slaps the mother. The next thing you hear, screams in the bedroom, muffled sounds even though the door is closed. It has a way of denting the way you view marriage as it would be. If you're in a house and everything has been calm and quiet, and you're all watching TV. Maybe you're enjoying dinner with your mom and your dad is there. Then all of a sudden, he snaps out of nowhere. Out of nowhere, it begins to beat everyone in the house.
Yeah.
Oh, mom turns on dad, and it has a way it mars what idea people are communicating. What is said and what you've been able to experience are totally two different images. So the most natural thing would be shy away from it. And truth, when you go into conversation with young people, they have some traumatic experiences they've seen in their homes that hinder them to even desire marriage. They say marriage is a hoax because of what they've been able to see and experience in their individual homes.
Cindy, do you think that's why a lot of women in your generation wanasema, no, we're going child-free? Is it some sort of trauma response as well from, they didn't like how, their moms treated them. They don't want to be the version of their moms.
Right, so just before I say anything, I was having this conversation with my boss at the parents group, sorry. And I was telling her, I don't want to go like the normal way of childbearing. I want kids. But you see, if they pass that surrogacy ART bill, me, I will do surrogacy. I will do. I won't carry. I can't.
Why?
I'm very feeble and very frail. I can't. And you can't convince me.
Cindy. Okay.
I can see you. You have her. Yeah.
I'm not going to. We listen and we don't judge.
Even if you judge.
It won't change a thing.
My mind. So there's people like me. It's called tocophobia. I have a fear of pregnancy. I have fear of even seeing someone pregnant. Gives me such, I don't know. It scares me.
Yeah.
I'm like, why?
Welcome to preparative ones. We'll help you.
Counseling solves everything.
We'll help.
I think I need a session or two because at this point I'm opening too much. I'm opening up too much. But aside from people who fear, so you see, my fear of pregnancy could actually inform my decision to not have kids, right? But there's also people, I know of a cousin of mine that I love so much, but she's like, I don't know, but I don't want kids. And then one day I just asked her why, and she was like, I don't like the way I was raised. I was raised to raise myself. Because she was like, I started cooking for myself when I was in grade 3. That's barely, someone who's able to make even proper decisions. And unapika, unapigiwa kelele, chumvi ni mingi. You don't even understand yourself as is, but you're meant to also understand the kitchen. So she was like, no.
Old is insane.
Yes. So she was like, I can't do this. Nilianza kujifulia kitambo. Nilianza to make decisions for myself. And she was like, I was not able to be a child. And you see the way the world is evolving very, very fast, and we are getting to instances where men and women are equal, and we are having the same jobs, right? Assuming I'm a CEO today, I'll barely have time for my kids, which means my kids will be raised by the house help or people who come and stay, au kukushikilia. So the kind of love, attention, affection that you would have liked to give your kids, you miss it completely, right? Which means these kids, when they have issues, they're not able to approach you.
Yeah.
These are kids who then, even as much as you try to compliment with the house helps or whoever, there's still that disconnect, right?
Yeah.
So she was like, me, I would never, ever want to have kids because of how. So yes, for me, I think it's a trauma response, or you're trying to avoid the trauma that you're going to dump on your daughter or son in the long run. So people have different reasons. Some it could be tocophobia, some it could be childhood response, who knows. But yeah, if you and also people who are raised in happy families, where parents are intentional about their protection, because again, if you leave your kid unprotected, they get to encounter different versions of
the world,
and it can be cruel to them.
Right.
Kids who are raised in those families that were really intentional about their protection, their affection and love and provision, they're always, I want such a big family, and I just look at them like
hold on to that thought. Let's take a break at this point. We're talking about childhood traumas, and we welcome you to be part of this conversation after the break. TV47 Breakfast is the hashtag to use across all social media platforms. On X, it's TV47 Digital. On YouTube and Facebook, it's TV47 Kenya. We'll see you on the other side of this break. Don't go too far.
You have to be very careful. Fake money can kill business.
Na leo mkorada yangu.
Small money, kapesa kadogo, big behavior.
I only have big notes.
Alikuwa anatafuta courage.
Yani nafaje kutengeneza kachumbari na manyanya zinakaa hivi? Ona, hii ni kama kiwaru.
Hiyo ni tonga commitment to the lie. Amejicommit.
Ndio hiyo. Mpatie.
Unajua kama una mtu kitu, hata tu salamu ya kawaida inakaa kama reminder.
Habari yako?
Sintalipa kesho.
Kesho gani when?
Si kesho ya kesho ya tomorrow.
Hiyo tena. Mzee ni budi nikae mchoka.
Ni budi ni madeni.
All right, welcome back and thank you so much for staying with TV47 Breakfast. We are having a conversation on childhood trauma, and once again we do welcome you to be part of it through our socials, TV47 Kenya on Facebook and on YouTube, and X is TV47 Digital, and remember to use the hashtag TV47 Breakfast. My guests are sitting in studio, Eddie, Cindy and Zim. But Eddie, yeah, you know there's a question I asked you, are not here, that is it possible to, you know, not have childhood traumas? And I want to shift that question. Do you think somebody would be walking around with childhood traumas and not know really that this is a trauma that, you know, I'm dumping, you know, in this relationship of mine?
Yes. People are walking with childhood trauma.
Without knowing?
Without knowing.
So how do we know that, you know, this is a trauma from my childhood? How do I know that I'm walking with some sort of trauma?
When, you know, my generation, the Generation Z,
Gen Z, okay.
they are very funny. When we say the only thing that we fear is marriage and pregnancy.
Do you fear marriage too? Come I
fear marriage.
But how can you get into marriage without love, Cindy? You're saying you fear love, you don't fear marriage.
I fear marriage because I've seen what my fellow men go through in marriages, be it in movies, be it online, be it just in the society. It's so scary, it's so hectic, and you say that, is this the only way that God said people can procreate? People should come together. Then if people are coming together and there is no agreement, then where is the need of people coming together? Yes. But it's possible people are walking around with childhood traumas without knowing. You know, even the tocophobia Cindy might be talking about might be as a result of the childhood trauma.
Childhood trauma.
Yes.
Atakata amesema hiyo si childhood trauma.
Well, kwani was I pregnant when I was young?
Maybe she saw what pregnant women or young girls who are pregnant were going through when she was growing up, and she said that maybe one day I would not like to go through this same route, but rather I would not want to go through this route at all. Yes.
And Zim, you know, we're talking about healing, but just listening to what Eddie is saying, you know, he's scared of marriage. These guys are scared of marriage and love. I don't know how that institution is doing, you know, now that you're in it for 25 years.
No.
27?
17, 18.
Oh, 27 is the other counselor. 17 years? All right. And I'm thinking about it here. How do we get to that healing space in you know, a community that's very stigmatized? Because you hear from Eddie, you know, I was scared of marriage from what the stories that he has heard online, you know, from movies, then how do we get to that healing space, even as you keep on encouraging, you know, proper counseling?
I think, like I said earlier, healings, when the abuse has happened in the community, healing also will happen in community. Possibly Gen Z, I would need to help them to create some sense of balance. We all struggle with balance, but there's a huge polarity when they give themselves, all of themselves, to online community, that they detach themselves from a physical community. So that online community has a toxic communication about marriage. Marriage is a hoax. We fear pregnancy and we fear marriage. You shouldn't fear. Marriage is actually happening, and it's
working.
Good, and it's working. So you need a sense of shift, a huge paradigm shift, where you plug into another community of people who celebrate marriage, and they will show you practical experiences of how marriage works and how to go through the ABCs of a healthy, vibrant, hilariously happy marital experience, and would help you. That one I guarantee you will help you. On Sunday at Park University, we have a group of young ladies and young men who are converging together to hear us men who have been married talk to them about transitioning through life to another dimension of experience, the culture and the Hadassah. The whole point is to bring them into a space where we've been functioning, to show them, this is how you go through this journey, and these are the ABCs of what you should look out for, and these are the things you could do that will predictably give you a good path towards that lifestyle of desiring marriage and desiring to settle in with someone. So marriage is not something to be feared, but it's something to be revered, in a sense that you treat it with honor, and you'll attract what you're looking for.
When I say 27 years, why didn't you say amen?
I look for 27, but I don't want to give a false narrative that I've been married for 27 years. No, I've known my wife for 21 years. But I've been married to her
not
for
even close to
years.
27.
So you dated for
but we are happy for you either way, Zim. But Cindy, how do we get to heal the inner child? Because we're talking about this time and time again, that sometimes you need to, not even sometimes, all the time you need to heal that inner child, to heal that trauma. How do we get to heal, you know, him or her, that inner child?
All right, so first of all, in response to them, Zim, you say
because
that
you talked about Gen Zs, eh?
Yeah, of course, I'm going to, you know.
Okay.
But you mentioned that we need to plug in on the other side. You see, what is displayed on social media majority of the time is the negative aspect. So when people shun from, you know, sharing their memorable marriages or beautiful marriages on social media, we don't go door to door ati nyumba kumi ati how's your marriage, you know. So I also encourage you, your Gen
X.
Gen X.
Yes.
I encourage you, Gen X, who are
Gen X.
those who are enjoying beautiful marriages. Also, I challenge you to, you know, share those experiences with young people.
I take the challenge, and I think that's why I'm in this space.
Yes.
To be that positive narrative that you aptly share on all social media platforms as TV47, so that the young people can get a glimpse of that. I really, really appreciate that.
Well, hold on to that thought, Cindy. Do you think Gen Zs are ready to change their mindset? You know, as you know, Ziwa says that this is a conversation that is important to change the minds of Gen Zs when you're talking about marriage, relationships, and love. Is your generation ready to change the mindset?
What I can say is, personally, can talk on my behalf and maybe some of my few followers, that we are always ready to give something a try. But the reason why at times it becomes difficult is because we are seeing the marriages we are seeing, we have seen that the marriage has lost its glory. The beautiful thing that people used to say is it's in marriage, we no longer see it in marriage. What we see in marriage is only chaos. It's only maybe bearing children without attachments, and it's chaotic. But personally, I still believe marriage is a beautiful thing. Yes.
And you will get into it. Say amen, inshallah. Talk to us about the issue of, healing the inner child.
Right, so even before I go on.
Yeah, and you have a lot in your mind.
So you asked if we are a generation that is ready to embrace change.
Yeah.
And one quick answer would be yes. We are a generation that subscribes to influencers.
Yes.
So imagine if we have people telling us that marriage is beautiful, telling us, and we see it. And the reason we are very good with our phones and social media and even the technology that comes is because we're always willing to try. So for us, it's very easy to, subscribe to something as long as we see that the long-term effect is positive. Because again, we really care about our mental health. If the marriage is the reason we are not having good mental health, you gotta go. It's not going to stay. It's like we are not going to compromise on that. Now, moving to healing the inner child.
Yeah.
I think it's Zim is laughing.
Go.
The door. Right. So I think people walk around with the unhealed childhood traumas and they don't even know it. For instance, someone beats you. In a normal setting, you and I who are sober-minded, and probably him is like 50% sober-minded, he knows beating people out of the blues is not normal, right? But because he doesn't know the reason for his constant rage, the reason for his anger that just storms out of nowhere, he just ends up, acting on it, beating people, doing all that. So that is an unchecked trauma, right? And if you want to have like a normal, productive, whatever setting with people around people socially, you have to first fix that, because you want to be around people who are fighting. No, I don't. Do you want to be around people who can't tame their anger? Ati conductor amekana 20 bob yake, where? Like they're just always looking for the slightest trigger. So first of all, for me, I would say for you to heal fully, regardless of whether it's childhood trauma or something that you picked later on in life. For you to heal it, you have to understand the reason for it. I mentioned last week that I get active panic attacks. And the reason is because when you shout at me, it triggers something from Kitambo. So when you shout at me, I lose it. There's a time I had an issue with my lecturer. I told him, whatever you do, just don't shout. He didn't listen. He shouted at me. I got a panic attack. They had to, now they're frantically looking for how do we help this girl. And I was like,
You fainted?
No, I got the the active one now, where you can't breathe. Nothing is, you can't do anything. So I'm like, the whole time I was like, if only you had listened to me, we wouldn't be in this situation, but oops, too late. So I know that fear, for me, that's a response to, I don't know what's going to happen. Sijui ka utanirushia kiatu, sijui ka utanirusha kwa balcony, So it's a response to fear for myself. I know that's the root cause. I'm working on it actively, so rest assured. I'm working on it, so it will be okay. So for you to actually have a very normal setting around people, because we also have people who are very okay, maisha iko sawa. If they have an issue with you, they will come and talk to you because they were raised in a setting that is very, very, there's no chaos. They know that this is what works, this is what doesn't work. My mom talked to me about issues, so if they have an issue with you, they won't hold off. They'll be like, hey, Anne, ulinifanyia hivi na hivi. You didn't sit right with me. I'm not mad at you. I'm just telling you that's not something I would subscribe to, right?
That's a boundary.
It's a boundary. You raise your boundaries, you have your standards, principles, and values that you live by. So if you have people around you that you really want, you want to be around for a longer time, you want to be friends, you want to be in courtship, you want to be in marriage allegedly. So you have to, work on those things. Find out the root cause, seek help. And sometimes I know you've had issues of, you have a patient and maybe you're not compatible with your patient, right? Maybe the things that you're telling them, they're not able to,
Your father.
Yeah. So seek help as much as you possibly can to tame that anger, to tame that, hollowness, to tame that loneliness that makes you do weird things that may not make you socially acceptable. So healing is possible, and it's something that should be chased Yeah.
Eddie, but my thinking is, even as Cindy is speaking, that you can only heal what you understand. But how do we get to understand that inner child for us to heal him or her? You get? Because if I don't quite understand who my inner child is and who she was, then how do I get to heal what I can't remember?
Sometimes it's funny, sorry, that the inner child is only triggered by what you go through. Yes. Now, you realize that you are always afraid of this thing, but you don't know. It starts by somebody understanding themselves. What happens to me when this one and this one comes to place? So you must first understand yourself and know that this is what I'm going through. Yes, whenever I have a problem, whenever somebody starts beating loud music, whenever somebody starts partying or doing something that you think might affect you, you need to find a way of, first of all, seeing on how you can, first of all, understand yourself. For a change to happen or for somebody to heal, they must first give themselves a chance of healing. Yes.
All right. Zim, I was thinking about it, and we rarely remember the good parts, the good things that happened. Why is that the case? We only remember the bad things, nilirushwa sijui na nini mtungi I guess nikarushiwa nini. Why are the good parts and the good memories blurry?
I think it's something that can be explained psychologically, but the reality also is true. That bad news has a way of traveling the whole world before the good news put on its shoes.
That's true.
And if the brain captures first the negative before it brings in the good memories, you communicate the bad. I've had some amazing, incredibly awesome experiences growing up. But you'll be amazed, they're all drowning in the few encounters of the negative. It takes a lot of courage to introspect yourself, to hold on to the good and let go of the bad. And also the environment where you keep associating yourself. If it constantly probes the negative, you'll always bring about the negative. But if it provokes you to talk about your happy childhood memories, you pick out the happy childhood memories. I had an experience growing up where I didn't grow up with my natural mother, the mom who gave birth to me. I was raised by my stepmom. So I left my mom when I was 3 years old to be with my stepmom, to grow up with the rest of the other siblings who are born of my dad with my stepmom. Ask me of anything I remember as a child about my mother, nothing. As in there is nothing, zero. The only thing I remember, she gave me out. And that giving me out is not a positive.
Yeah.
Now that's all I have in my subconscious memory about my mother. So when I met her much later in life, she asked me, do you love me? What emotional deposits do I have to draw out of me in the experience when I was with you for me to validate what you're asking me? Of course, as an adult then, I could only say, I love you, that's why I'm here. If I was not here, definitely I don't love you. But I'm here because I love you.
All right. Let's wind up this show now. And I'd love to know your parting shot, of course, Cindy and Adi. Let's talk about healing now. Healing the traumas, that we grew up with, and not passing it on other people, the kids, our partners, our friends. How do we heal from the traumas now? Well, aside from counseling, which is important, from your own point of view, what are the steps to healing?
Okay, before I get my point of view.
We are out of time, by the way.
But just a quick question. Is it possible to not love someone, or not have love and affection feelings towards your parent?
Ziv, you will answer that in your parting shot. Let's hear from Eddie. Eddie, what's your parting shot, as we close the conversation?
Healing is quite an important thing, and I cannot really map out steps of healing because it happens differently on different people. Somebody can heal because they've found a safe space. Somebody can heal because they have maybe found something that is keeping them more busy and making them not to think about what happened to them. So people heal differently. That's why I cannot really say that now if you want to heal, you first do this, this, this and this.
But
Yes.
what would you advise generally for somebody who want to take steps to heal that trauma that they grew up with?
I said earlier, first of all, you need to understand yourself. You need to know what triggers your childhood. Yes, and there is a lot of insecurity, but it's very important that you look at the environment, people you are associating with. Yes.
Okay. Zim, Cindy threw a question at you, and as you wind up, you can respond to that as, your parting shot as well.
My parting shot is that heal, brother, heal, sister, heal. And it's going to take some work on you. Read some materials, books, to write a new script for yourself that you can follow, and to be of help to Cindy. Yes, you can numb the commitment to love and to care for your parents, but you can also activate it by doing the natural positive things that you ought to do, that you would wish for yourself. And one of the other things also, give what you did not receive to vulnerable children out there that need them, and young people who are in the sort of a daze that do not know how to find their bearings. I would often go to a children's home every year. I made it a discipline for the last 17 years. Throw a party for them, a Christmas party, Easter party, find a way to keep company, sit around them, because I'm giving back to these children what I could not have received as a child. And in a way, it is therapy and healing for myself. Then I intentionally associate with young people to give them the much needed help that I did not get when I was younger in that age quadrant. That's how you heal.
All right. Cindy, parting shot?
Right.
In 1 minute.
In 1 minute, I promise. So first of all, finding out who you are, really, because you could be trying to heal, but whatever you're adopting doesn't work for you, right? So find out who you are, as you had mentioned. And another thing, surround yourself with people who are speaking to what you want. If you're trying to heal and you associate with people who always trauma dump, it's not gonna work.
Right.
If you are trying to heal and you want to be, and you need to be around people who want for you to be better. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for making time for us to have this conversation. That is Zim, Cindy, and Eddie. We're talking about childhood trauma. Let's continue on our socials. TV47 Kenya on Facebook and on YouTube. And next is TV47 Digital. We are also live on Vibe 47. Vibe 47 is an app that you can get on Play Store and on App Store for absolutely free. You can catch this conversation from that particular app. That brings us to the end of the show this morning. Thank you so much for keeping us company all the way from 6 a.m. up until now. It's 9:55, 5 minutes to the top of the hour. My name is Annie Odida, and I'll see you tomorrow bright and early. Good morning.